Hey there. So I was talking to my grandma the other day and she told me something that absolutely blew my mind. You know what older people talk about when they look back on their lives? It's never about the money they made. It's always about time, purpose, relationships, and health. But look at us in our 20s, 30s, and 40s. We're obsessed with our bank accounts. We're grinding away, checking our investments, worrying about promotions, all while life is literally passing us by. That's why today, I want to talk about something that changed my perspective completely. This is about the stuff that actually makes life worth living. Ready to rethink what being rich actually means? Let's go. Time wealth. So the first type of wealth, and honestly, I think it's the most important one, is time wealth. Think about it this way. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Ever. Once it's gone forever. Time wealth breaks down into three key parts: awareness, attention, and control. Awareness is just realizing, hey, I only have so many hours on this planet. It sounds obvious, but we act like we're immortal sometimes. Attention is about where you focus. Like, are you actually present when you're with people you love? Or are you scrolling through Instagram while your friend is telling you about their breakup? And control, this is the big one, is about who decides how you spend your time. Is it you, or is it your boss, your phone notifications, or random people's expectations? Now I know what you're thinking. Dude, I don't have control. I have a job, kids, bills to pay. I get it. But here's the thing, even if you can't control everything, you'd be shocked at how many little pockets of time you actually do have control over. Check your screen time right now. Go ahead. I'll wait. How many hours was it? Now imagine what you could do with even half of those hours if you spent them differently. We should ask ourselves 4 questions to check our time wealth. 1. Do I truly understand that time is finite and treat it like my most valuable resource? 2. Have I figured out my 2 to 3 top priorities in my personal and professional life? 3. Am I actually focusing on those priorities consistently? 4. Do I feel like I'm in control of my schedule? This isn't about stressing yourself out or feeling guilty. It's about honestly assessing where you're at so you can improve. Instead of saying what you want to do, decide what you're going to stop doing. Like, I'm not going to scroll TikTok first thing in the morning, or I'm not taking work calls after 6 p.m. Types of professional time. Now let's talk about something that was a total game changer for me. The 4 types of professional time. Most of us spend our entire work lives in management time. This is all the reactive stuff, answering emails, attending meetings, putting out fires. It feels busy, but are you actually creating anything? The second type is creation time. This is when you're actually making something new, writing content, building a product, designing, coding, whatever creative work matters in your field. This is where the magic happens. The problem, most of us let management time completely take over our creation time, and then we wonder why we feel stuck. The third type is consumption time. This is when you're taking in new information, reading books, listening to podcasts, or learning new skills. Think of it as feeding your brain so it has something to work with later. And the fourth type, which almost nobody schedules, is ideation time. This is just letting your mind wander and come up with new ideas. Taking a walk without your phone, journaling, or just staring out the window thinking. Most successful people I know protect their creation time like it's sacred. They batch all their meetings into specific blocks so they have uninterrupted time to actually make things. Try this. Schedule your mornings for creation time when your brain is fresh, and push all your meetings to the afternoon. You'll be shocked at how much more you accomplish. Social wealth. Alright, let's talk about the second type of wealth, social wealth. And this one hits hard. Let me share some patterns that might make you think differently about who you spend time with. First, time with family. It peaks when you're a kid and then drops off a cliff once you hit 20. You never get that time back. So if you're young and still living at home, treasure it. And if you've moved away, maybe call your parents more often. Time with your kids, it's even more dramatic. Those years when they're little, they feel endless when you're in them. But the data shows this window is devastatingly short. Then they're teenagers who barely want to hang out with you, and then they're gone. Time with friends peaks around 18 and then plummets. As adults, we have fewer friendships but deeper ones. So focus on quality over quantity. Better to have 3 amazing friends than 50 acquaintances. Here's the most interesting one. Time with your partner is the only relationship that increases throughout your life. So choose wisely, because this person will have a massive impact on your happiness. Time with coworkers stays pretty steady from your 20s to your 60s, and then drops to 0 when you retire. That's a huge chunk of your life. So if you can, choose a job with people you actually like. And finally, time alone. This actually increases as we get older. When we're young, we see being alone as sad or boring. But as we age, we learn to value it. So maybe start embracing solitude now. Write down the 2 to 12 most important people in your life. Then ask yourself, am I giving enough time to these people? Are there relationships I'm neglecting? Pick up your phone right now and call someone you haven't talked to in months. Seriously, even a 2-minute conversation can make someone's day and remind them they mattered. Mental, physical, and financial wealth. Now let's quickly cover the other 3 types of wealth. Mental wealth is about keeping your mind sharp and creative. Taking a thinking day once a month where you completely unplug, reflect, and just let your brain work on problems or generate new ideas. Bill Gates does something similar with his Think Weeks. If one of the busiest billionaires in the world makes time for this, maybe we should too. Physical wealth is pretty straightforward. It's your health. Think at this interesting point, health isn't an on-off switch. It's more like a dimmer. Every small thing you do matters. You don't need to become a fitness influencer. Even a 15-minute walk or choosing water instead of soda makes a difference. And trust me, as someone who's watched older relatives decline, you do not want to spend the last 20 years of your life in poor health. And finally, financial wealth. What is your definition of enough? Most of us never answer this. We just keep chasing more and more without knowing why or when we'll feel satisfied. There's this famous parable about a fisherman. Basically, a businessman meets a fisherman who spends his days fishing a little, playing with his kids, taking naps, and having dinner with friends. The businessman suggests a whole plan for how the fisherman could build a big company, work really hard for 20 years, and then retire to do exactly what he's already doing now. The point is, sometimes we're already rich in ways we don't recognize. We're working ourselves to death to achieve a lifestyle that, with a little perspective shift, we could have right now. So there you have it. The 5 types of wealth that actually matter. Time wealth, social wealth, mental wealth, physical wealth, and yes, financial wealth too. But maybe not in the way you thought. Look, I'm not saying money doesn't matter. Of course it does. But what those 80 and 90-year-olds taught us is that at the end of your life, you won't be thinking about your bank balance. You'll be thinking about how you spent your time, who you loved, and whether you lived with purpose. So my question for you is, which of these 5 types of wealth do you need to focus on right now? Let me know in the comments. If you found this valuable, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that hopefully makes you think a little differently. Until next time.